Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to go over the new icons that were released as we're starting to get 87 overall icons, which are actually pretty big because that's basically new master sets, like at least twice a week as it stands right now. So we got 3 new ones. Some of them are kind of interesting, so we're going to break all those down as always and look at some prime time, see if there's any value there. But remember guys, subscribe for daily NHL content if you haven't already, and check me out on Twitch. I go live every morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time. And again, if you have any questions regarding Hockey Ultimate Team or anything like that, feel free to ask me there. All right, guys, let's get into today's content. All right, we will start things off with the 92 Steve Yzerman going up from 87 overall. I'm not going to lie, his 87 was kind of mediocre early on in the game because Swarm is a secondary synergy, as is Gladiator. So nothing really changes there. 2 to Swarm is helpful because, again, it is a synergy you want to make sure you activate at some point. Gladiator, it's kind of meh, but honestly, on this card, it actually helps quite a bit because, well, he is a centerman in this game, 93 faceoffs. You definitely want to play him there, and he's not big enough, in my opinion, to play, or fast enough to play on the wing, so he is a centerman. Now, that being said, centerman you obviously want to be bigger the better, but he does, with Gladiator, he gets his body checking up to 88, which is obviously helpful. Then his defensive stats are almost perfect. Stick checking and defensive awareness basically maxed out with those sins. His shot, not bad. 91 on the wrist shot power, 95 on the accuracies. Hand stats are almost max as well, except for deking. So he looks, it's funny, his stats are built like a big, plotting centerman, kind of like Sundin, but he's only 5'11", which obviously not a great mixture, but this isn't like it's a bad card by any means. Again, defensively, he should be okay. 5'11", again, isn't really what you want in a centerman, but his body checking is 88, and that's before if you had Spark, which obviously helps a little bit more. His endurance is a little low as well, but with the speed and acceleration team synergies, his speed's in the 90s, which is more than useful. He's not my first choice to upgrade, but I wouldn't blame anyone for doing it. We've got the 92 Peter Stastny, 2 to Heart and Soul, 2 to Passing Playmaker. That's probably the worst combo of synergies to have upgraded. That being said, let's go ahead and just play if you won't have those activated. 88 on the draw, so again, that's nice. He is 6'1", which is a little bit bigger. Body checking only 87. That isn't bad, but again, it's not elite. His shot is in the low 90s, hand stats in the mid 90s, and then speed is kind of like Steve Yzerman, although his speed with the 90 speed isn't bad. Gets it up to 93 with distributor. Spark will get his acceleration into the 90s as well. I would not do this upgrade for the sole fact that if you're going to invest that many icon collectibles, that much value, even if you have the untradeable Peter Stastny, it's just like you're spending so much to be a synergy hole unless you're really trying to activate Heart and Soul because you need like your 5th team-based synergy. But I will say this, if you have Heart and Soul activated, he does get 94 faceoffs, which does make him usable on center. And at that point, he's actually a pretty good centerman, but not one that I would look to invest and waste or put coins and icons into, as I don't really think you're going to get that much value out of them. And then lastly, we got the 91 Yary Curry, and this card, in my opinion, is definitely worth a look in terms of upgrades. So Yary Curry, again, with Barrage and Howitzer, goes up to 91. Does have 87 on the draw, so you could play him at center. I wouldn't, but you could. That being said, 2 to Barrage is important because it is a synergy to look for after. There's an argument between Barrage and Swarm at this point in the game. Either or is fine. I think that it's well after Spark and Distributor, though. That being said, this card would help you get a Barrage activated. 2 to Howitzer is a very useful synergy. So his speed is 91 before Distributor, agility is 96 before Swarm, and then acceleration can get into the 90s with Spark. You combine that with the fact that you get Barrage activated. He's got a perfect slap shot. His hand stats are, other than hand-eye, all above 92, which is nice. Deking and offensive awareness 95 and 99 with Barrage activated. Body checking only 86, but that's really not the whole use of this card. He's very quick. The 86 I loved, and I'm not going to lie, this is a card I will be upgrading just because I think if you have Mario Lemieux on the wing, you could move Mario to center and then use this Yary Curry in the slot. I just think that he really helps with synergies if you are someone, if you're a hut-rich team and you're looking for your 4th synergy or even your 3rd, this does really help out and open some things up. So a lot of value here, and in my opinion, is worth the upgrade to the 91. Yeah, that's I think I'm gonna do a card review of this. I'm gonna debut a new series as well, guys, coming up soon, where I review individual cards and show gameplay and things like that and my rating on them. I think this might be one that I do early on as well, because I am going to pull the trigger and upgrade him with with the icon. And then lastly, we'll take a look at some of the prime times. We got the 91 Brad Marchand with passing, playmaker, and magician. Honestly, for the last like 5 years, Brad Marchand cards have been awful. One of the worst in HUT, and it isn't because he's a bad player. I mean, obviously, he doesn't have a lot of fans outside of Boston. It's just he's slow and he's small. Like, it's very difficult to find useful in that. And in NHL 20, if you were small, no matter what your stats were, it didn't matter. In NHL 21, if he's fast, you can get away with being small, and he's not. Like, even with, synergies, it's okay. He gets to 90, but we're at the point now where above 90 is kind of what you want to look for. He does have 92 body checking at 5'9", but still, it's going to be hard to bump guys off the puck. His shot is nice. It's just like, we'll take a look in the auction house and see what he's going for early on. I mean, there should be, there's no way I'm paying $300K for this card. Absolutely not. There's way more master items that I'd rather have. So I just wanted to kind of look at that Brad Marchand, because I'm just not a fan of that card. All right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's content. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. And don't forget to subscribe for daily NHL content. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one, boys.